Are you looking for a one-bedroom flat in London? If so, this video is for you. I am going to show you 5 of the best listings that I found in London for one-bedroom flats under £1,500 per month. And these are apartments that I would seriously consider for myself if I was looking to move. Let's dive in. This is a listing for a one-bedroom flat advertised at £1,500 per month. Let's take a look. The building looks fine, it is surrounded by a bit of grass, so far so good. This is a picture of the reception room and it looks like it is an open kitchen, which I am not against. The kitchen is a very good size. We can see that there is a washing machine. There is also a window directly above the sink, and in my opinion it is the best place for the window, so you have something to look at when you do the dishes. This is the bedroom. There is quite a big window, which is always nice, and we can see at least 2 different storage areas in this set of drawers here and what looks like a big wardrobe over here. And finally, this is the bathroom. There is a window in the bathroom, which I love, and the bathroom overall looks quite modern and bright. I like that there is plenty of space around the sink to put your stuff, and there is also a storage area below the sink. Unfortunately, this is the only picture that we have from the main room, and my concern might be that it is on the smaller side. However, we have at least 2 sources of light, one in the kitchen and probably one over here in the living room. We can also see that there is an entrance area where there is quite a lot of storage, which is good. A big plus of this flat is that it is very central. It is located in South London and it is in Bermondsey, which is only 1 stop away from London Bridge. Let's have a look at the description. This place is advertised as unfurnished, which in my opinion is good because I think it's quite crowded with furniture, and the pieces of furniture that we saw in the flat seem quite bulky to me, and I don't think they are making the best use of the space. They are also speaking of communal gardens, which makes sense since we saw some grass on the first picture, and there is also an allocated off-street parking space, which is great if you have a car. They say that Henley Drive, which is the name of the street, is actually 0.8 mile from Bermondsey Tube Station and 1 mile from London Bridge Tube Station. To recap, I have many pros for this flat. There is the fact that it is very central, there is an allocated parking space, there is a communal garden, the flat itself is very well maintained and very bright. It also comes unfurnished. Of course, depending on your situation, you might prefer something furnished, but in my opinion, unfurnished is always better, and this is why. Most of the time, furnished places look like a flea market where landlords just dropped whatever they had in their house and didn't want anymore. It's old, not well maintained, not well coordinated, and it's hard to make a place feel like home in these conditions. This is why I personally prefer unfurnished. For the cons, my only worry is that this flat might be a bit small. But if you want to live in central London and you're on a budget, I think this is a very good option. Next, this flat is advertised at £1,500 per month. It is located in East London, just above Canary Wharf, where public transport is quite good. There is also a floor plan, so let's have a look at that. Okay, so from the hallway, on the left there is the living room with an open kitchen. I quite like the open kitchen. There are a lot of windows. There are 4 windows in the living room area. This part of the living room might be slightly hard to furnish because it is not a very wide rectangle, but we can have a look at the pictures later. And then in the hallway there is the bathroom with again a window in the bathroom, which is very good. And then on the other side of the flat, the bedroom. I like this floor plan. Having the living room on one side and the bedroom on the other side really make it 2 separate spaces, and I think it's quite nice. We can also see on the floor plan that there seem to be 2 big cupboards, which is great for storage. Overall, this flat is just under 400 square feet or 36 square meter, which is an average size for a one-bedroom flat. Let's have a look at the pictures. So they set up the living room area here on the right side of the room with the kitchen just behind and the dining area in the corner with all of the windows. I think it works. Here is the kitchen. I really like the style of the kitchen. As we saw on the floor plan, there is a window directly above the sink. I think this little corner with the dining table is actually quite nice, and I feel like it would be a very nice space for working from home. I'm not sure why they put this wardrobe right in front of the window. I don't think it fits very well, but that's not important. And finally, the bathroom. I really like it. It looks brand new, well maintained. It is a very good size. They say in the description that this flat comes part furnished, so I would be curious to see what stays and what goes. I think this flat has many pros. I like the layout of the flat. I like that it is modern and well maintained. I like the open kitchen. We have a lot of windows, and we have a window in the kitchen and one in the bathroom. I quite like the little nook where the dining table is. If you work in Canary Wharf, this would be absolutely perfect for you. And if you work elsewhere in London, you will still have quick access to the city with plenty of public transport options nearby. For the cons, as it is usually the case in London, it might be a bit small. This flat is also advertised at £1,500 per month, and it is located in South East London, not far from Greenwich. This flat has quite an interesting layout with a bathroom on the first floor and then the bedroom, living room and kitchen on the second floor. I quite like the outside area. It is a bit unusual in a good way. As we saw on the floor plan, this is an open kitchen. It might not be the biggest, but it is a fairly square room, which means that it is easier to arrange. We have two big windows, and I love that we can see trees through the windows. I'm wondering, what is this deck area? Can we have a table here and enjoy the sun in the summer? The bedroom looks like it's a very good size. There is integrated storage, and we can see the sun coming through the window. And finally, the bathroom. It's a good size, there is no window, but it looks well maintained. Next property. We are once again in South East London, and I know that a lot of the options that I am showing are in this area, and this is just because the prices are a lot more reasonable than in the north. So if you are looking for the best value for your money, South East will be easier. Now, I know that for Londoners it is very hard to cross the river. North Londoners will stay in the north and South Londoners will stay in the south. I wasn't born and raised in London, so I had no issues trying different neighborhoods to find what I like best. Okay, so for this flat, it is again £1,500 per month and it is in South East London. Here is a little floor plan. This place is quite big for a one-bedroom flat. It is almost 58 square meters or just above 600 square feet. And the particularities are that the kitchen looks quite big as well as the bathroom. Also, I like that there is at least one window in every room. The living room is quite big and they kind of separated the space with this wardrobe to make a living room area and an office area. The kitchen is absolutely huge. You can have a table and still have plenty of space for other things. It means that you could have plenty of storage. If the two people living in this flat were both working from home, one could have their office area in the living room and the other one in the kitchen. Here is the bedroom. I don't have much to say, but it is a good size. And here is the bathroom. This is a big bathroom. There is a bath, there is plenty of space for storage, and there is this big frosted window. The description says that this place comes unfurnished. One thing is catching my attention in this description. The bullet points at the top say that there are 2 double bedrooms, but then this flat is advertised as a 1-bedroom. What I think happened is that they tried to advertise it as a 2-bedroom, turning the living room into a 2nd bedroom and using the big kitchen as the only real living space. I hate when landlords do that. A kitchen is not a living room. However, since this place is clearly advertised as a 1-bedroom flat, and the price also aligns with what I would expect from a 1-bedroom flat, not a 2-bedroom, they probably just didn't do a very good job at tidying the listing before posting it, but I really like the flat, so let's forget about this detail. To recap, here are the pros. This flat is very spacious, all the rooms are very good size, it is bright with windows in every room. I like that the entrance is on the ground floor, but the entire flat is on the first floor. It comes unfurnished, which is a plus for me, and it is close to public transport. For the cons, well, I didn't like the fact that the listing talks about 2 double bedrooms at the top, but that's probably it. I really like this place. This flat is also advertised at £1,500 per month and it is located in South East London. And it is again quite a good size. It is 46 square meters or just under 500 square feet. If we look at the floor plan, it is slightly unusual, I'd say, but all the rooms look big and I like that there are 2 windows in the living room, which means that it is probably very bright. The kitchen is nice, big, modern. There are 2 windows. From the floor plan, it didn't seem that the kitchen would be that big, so I'm wondering if they changed things since the floor plan was created. On the floor plan, it looked like we had a closed kitchen and a separate reception room, where here it looks like it is an open kitchen on the living room. This is probably the bedroom, bathroom is fine, and I quite like the building and the surroundings. It's just a bit confusing that it is not what the floor plan is reflecting. Okay, this makes sense now. They say that the images are of a similar unit finished to the same standards, which is why the kitchen doesn't look like it is where it should be. I'm not a fan of agents who do that and show pictures that are not the actual property. However, if the actual flat is as good as the one on the pictures, I think it is worth a look. This is a bit of a red flag, and this is one that I mentioned in this video where I tell you all about how to avoid scams. So if I were to go and view this flat, I would be very cautious. Another interesting thing about this property is that it was first listed in January for £1,600 per month. It was then reduced in February by £50 and then again reduced in March by another £50, which means that they are not finding tenants for this flat. So my first concern is it related to the fact that we are not seeing pictures of the actual flat? Is the real flat as good as the pictures that we are seeing? In my opinion, this is a second red flag. If I was looking for a one-bedroom flat, I think I would still inquire, but I wouldn't go above and beyond for it. So if the agent is being difficult, if we can't find a time that works for a viewing, I would just give up. So for the pros, it is a good sized flat, all the rooms are big and with windows, and it is modern and bright. For the cons, there is of course the fact that we haven't seen pictures of the actual flat, so we can't know for sure what it looks like. And also that it has been advertised for more than 2 months, the price has been reduced, and it is still on the market. Why? So as I said, I would be cautious about moving forward, but it could turn into a very good opportunity, so I might still consider it. And this is everything I have for you today. If you found this useful, give me a thumbs up, and I would love to know which one was your favorite, so let me know in the comments. I will see you next week, and for now, I suggest that you watch this video because YouTube think you will like it. Bye!